What's up, guys? We're going to be taking this LT 1000 and we're going to be making it into a woods mower. Basically, it's going to be able to go through the wood terrain and you're just going to have a good old time with that. We're going to be taking out the single piston 17 horse and we're going to be putting in a V-twin Kawasaki 17 horse. We're also going to be putting a rack on it. We're going to be putting beefier tires in the back. We're going to be upgrading the pulley system, the brake system. We're going to beef up the front suspension, and we're going to fix the seat issue that we have with this. Here we are on the LT 1000. We're going to be taking the motor out today, and we're also going to be taking the rear tires off of it, and then we're going to fix this flimsy seat. Like I said, this was a racing mower, so it has been governor bypassed with a foot throttle. And we've also had no air filter. These front spindles are always prone to cracking right along in here. And then also, if you've already seen, I've also put a washer in already to count for the bad slot. But we're going to be completely redoing this whole front end because it has done a flip because of the suspension that is underneath of it. This is the bad boy that's going to go in it. Picked it up at a local junkyard for $20. It does run, but it does need a lot of TLC work. Carb needs to be gone through. We need to get rid of this old muffler setup and convert it over to our side pipe setup that we have set up on the mower. So basically what I want to do right now is I want to get the pull string off of it. I want to get this cover off of it, get the carburetor taken out of it, get the exhaust off of it, make sure there's no slop in the valve train, and we're going to go through it and make sure it's still got good oil in it. We're going to do an oil change on it, change the filter out of it. We got a rear pulley that's on the bottom of it we got to pull off. So y'all be seeing how to properly take off a seized pulley to a crankshaft. And then from there on, we're going to take out all the stuff that we don't need for the application of this mower. We're also going to be doing a needle bypass, show you how to do that. And this is the roof rack that we're going to be putting on the back side of the mower. So when you're going through the woods, you run out of gas. You can have a little gas can attached to it, a little toolbox full of tools. Say your tire falls off, or you have a nut or anything else that falls off. You'll have your commodity tools that you'll be bringing with you just in case for that happening. So the first thing on these Kawasaki's is that you'll notice is the breather covers in the front. You want to take that off. They are a pain sometimes to get off. There it is. Take your air filter out of it. Seems to be a pretty clean air filter. We'd probably be reusing that. And then we're going to need a couple tools. Typically on your Kawasaki's and your Kohlers, basically any of your new motors now, everything's going to be measured. So what we're doing now is we're going to take this breather cover off to where we can access the carburetor. Found it. That's your breather cover. And as you can see now, we have full access to our carburetor. This is the needle that I was talking about that we're going to be bypassing. We're going to make sure we have current to it the whole time, make sure it's still actuating like it is. So now we're going to start pulling the cover off of it, that way we can get down to it a little bit easier. We're going to take our pulse pump off of it, and we will be replacing the pulse pump with a new one, because over time with new fuel, or with the old fuel going through it, it tends to crumple up the baffle inside of it, allowing the fuel to pull through it. Make sure when you pull off your pulse pump that you don't lose your breather tube for the pulse pump. Make sure you always have it handy, because they are made to the motors. We're going to go ahead and take our brackets off. Now we're going to take our pull string off. As you can see, it's not wanting to work right, so we're going to have to take this whole assembly out of it. Check the spring, make sure it's not broken. And if the spring's not broken, I'm going to oil it up, and then we're going to put some fresh string in it. That way it will return like it's supposed to. Because that ain't going to work in the woods. We're going to continue taking our cover off so we can get this off of it and see if any mice or anything have made a nest down in this thing. Because that's the last thing you want, is for this thing to catch fire. It'd be a bad day for everybody. Cover's off. As far as what I'm seeing right now, it looks like no mice have made a nest in this thing, which is a good thing. And now, as you can see, we have perfect clearance to our carburetor to get to these bolts and to the screws. And the best thing to do with these studs is you can actually take two nuts, especially the ones that come off the cover. You can put one on backwards here, just like this, and then take you another one and put it in the front. And then what you're going to do is you're going to lock it down. As you can see, we went ahead and I took the studs out of it. All we got to do is now is just pull them out. And on this one right here, you can see how I locked it in. Just like that. So basically all you do is you put a 10 mil right here wrench, and then you use your socket right here and lock these two together. Put your wrench back here, and then you just break it loose. Sometimes they do tend to break to the inside of the block. Hopefully it doesn't happen, and if it does, you're going to have to extract it on one way or another, whether it be with an extraction tool or by welding another piece of rod to it and then hoping it takes loose. Now that we've gotten this carburetor taken loose, we're going to go ahead and take it out. We're going to do the wires to the carburetor, and then we need to take our ground loose to it. I always remember how these come apart, because sometimes, even if you have to take photos help. It makes things going back together a lot easier. So, unfortunately, I don't have my camera up here at the moment, so I'm actually going to have to remember how all this comes apart, and hope to God I can put it back together the same way it came apart. We got our carburetor out with our pulse pump. We'll be taking the bowl off of it, cleaning it, making sure the jet's clear of it. We may be porting the jet just a smidge so we can get that little bit better fuel to air ratio for a little bit more bump. And now we're going to take the exhaust off of it, which we're going to need. This guy. She's on there pretty good. She's working with it. There we go. Yep. That can go in the garbage. Now we have access to our heads. We have access to the valves. And it looks like we have a little bit of an oil leak going on with one of the valve covers. So we will be fixing that. And other than that, it looks like it's going to be an alright motor. I didn't feel any kind of binding up in the motor, so basically what we're going to do now is we're going to clean the carburetor up. We're going to assemble this back together, and we're going to check our valve lash on our valves, and then the motor should be just about ready to go, other than draining the oil and putting a new filter on it. So next time I see you guys, I'm going to be building the front suspensionless mower. We're going to be taking out this whole bar, along with the tie rod and the other BS that we don't need. We're going to be taking these wheels off, and we're actually going to be putting on a set of wheels that have the same tread, but they're going to have actual bearings in it instead of the brass bushings. Because when you're going 35, 40 miles an hour on a sketchy mower that's only designed to go 5 miles an hour, it's a safe bet to go ahead and install a bearing setup in it rather than a bushing, because bushings do wear and you don't want a tire falling off with that kind of stuff. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you're all going to be getting into it. I am a new channel that is trying to make a name for himself. We are new age builds, so we're going to be doing some different stuff right compared to some of your other channels like Red Bear's Garage, Cars and Cameras, we're going to be more pertaining to the mowers. We will be doing some mini bikes. We will be doing some go-karts. I actually got 2 go-karts. One of them's got a 17 horse motor on it, and we've been having some issues with the rear axle on it and wanting to blow out the clutch. So that will be one of the projects in the future. I have 2 other race motors. One of them I'm going to do a review of and show you what I've done to it. But as far as doing high-end builds like 80, 90 mile an hour go-karts, it's not yet in my future. Don't really have the funds for it at the moment. But it is something I wanted to accomplish in building. My dad got me into all this, and it's kind of stuck with me. And for some reason, it's always been a hobby of mine. I figured if I'm going to start doing all this stuff, I might as well record it and show the world what I can do. Click the subscribe button, hit that bell, and there'll be more videos soon to come, guys.